COP27 has ended in Sharm El Sheikh, that is in Egypt, with an important milestone. After years of resistance from rich governments, UN member states for the first time agreed to set up a loss and damage fund to provide assistance to developing countries suffering from floods, droughts and wildfires caused by climate change. However, the final conference agreement was criticized for not doing enough to tackle the emissions causing climate change. Jamila Mohamed reports on what the COP27 outcomes mean for the African continent.
The two-week-long COP27, also known this year as the Implementation COP, came to a close in Sharm El Sheikh, Egypt over the weekend, with the talks extending beyond the expected date as the nearly 200 countries represented at the conference scrambled to reach an agreement on the main issues on the agenda. And the meeting did deliver on a crucial matter, one that has dragged on for close to 30 years and which has faced resistance from rich governments.
Today, here in Sharm El Sheikh, we established the first ever dedicated fund for loss and damage, a fund that has been so long in the making.
This fund will specifically cover the cost of damage that countries cannot avoid or adapt to.
Loss and damage is what is meant to help actually rebuild your livelihood so that you can actually be able to recover. Now, it's primarily meant to actually help you rebuild an alternative livelihood system.
Loss and damage impacts are actually irreversible. You cannot adapt to you cannot adapt to losing your family members. You cannot adapt to losing your livelihoods. You cannot adapt to losing all your livestock.
Vulnerable countries, especially in Africa, have been calling for setting up of the Loss and Damage Fund since the 1992 Rio Earth Summit. It has been a part of the formal negotiations since COP19 in Warsaw in 2013. But now the next step is the decision on the actual funding arrangements, especially details on how the funding will be run, the countries likely to be eligible and how the fund will be dispersed. This is likely to take some years.
The establishment of a fund is not about dispensing charity. It is clearly a down payment on the longer investment in our joint futures. It is a down payment and an investment in climate justice.
The conference has been criticized for not boosting efforts to rein in the emissions causing climate change, by not including in the agreement provisions for countries to scale back use of fossil fuel such as coal, oil and natural gas.
Clear follow-through on the phase-down of coal, not in this text. A clear commitment to phase out all fossil fuels, not in this text. And the energy text weakened in the final minutes.
But what we have in front of us is not enough of a step forward for people and planet. It does not bring enough added efforts from major emitters to increase and accelerate their emissions cuts.
The Loss and Damage Fund breakthrough is a win for the African continent, but one that will take some time to be implemented. The agreement calls for the funds to come from a variety of existing sources, including financial institutions, rather than relying on rich nations to pay in. Analysts say Africa needs to start looking for solutions from within.
Agroecological examples in Kenya are abounding. So since the majority of the people in Kenya are practicing agriculture, if they could go agroecology, it's green growth. And there is sun, there is wind in Kenya, you can use that.
We are going to launch a big coalition of private sector companies that then speaks with one voice on issues such as climate. And it is about us creating solutions that are relevant for Africa, creating more tailored solutions to local, like the way we created M-Pesa.
The Loss and Damage deal hashed out in Egypt lays out a roadmap for future decision-making, with recommendations to be made at next year's COP28 to be held in Dubai. Jamila Mohamed, Citizen TV, Nairobi.